everybody. Welcome to Dragonmount DIY. I am Maureen or Mashiara from Calfetti Crochet. So it's a little bit sad that I am the one that has to be live for Dragonmount the day after we had some horrible news that the Amazon TV show was not renewed for the fourth season. So there are a lot of emotions right now within the fandom, within myself. I know a lot of us are kind of just stuck there in that sense of shock or in that not quite taking those steps towards mourning, but it's almost there. So I'm here to talk about that if that's what you want to talk about. There are some things we can do, so I don't want anyone to feel helpless. If the TV show is something you're feeling really strongly about, please go to dragonmount.com. We do have some ways we can make our voices heard. If that's going to have an effect or not, I don't know, but it definitely does help us feel like we're doing something. Sometimes that's all we want, is just to feel like our voice is heard, that we are taking part in something to, bring back something that brings us so much joy. I know so much of my life has been devoted to the Wheel of Time series. I started reading in 1999 when I was a junior in high school. I'm now 40, almost 42. Like, that's a big chunk of my life that has been devoted to this series. And the show has just brought it to life in a different way that has been so fulfilling. Just being able to talk again about the series, talk about the characters, talk about the different situations the TV show presented, thinking about it as a different turning of the wheel instead of, the original turning that was the novels. And, it really helped my brain get used to some of the changes that, some were okay, some were not so great, but that's okay. Um, Either way, my heart was so full having the series to look forward to, having the series to talk about on the podcast with Kathy Campbell and Rajiv Mote. Just so much time spent, so much effort spent, just devoted to this series. And so definitely my heart is a little heavy, but again, we're not, excuse me, we are not giving up yet. Okay. So we still have some hope. We still have some things we can try to shift opinion. I don't know, but definitely we're not going to go down without a fight. So definitely check out dragonmount.com. You can find out some different things we can do. I honestly have not looked into a lot of it because my heart is still kind of not wanting to admit that we're necessarily going to have to take those steps, but definitely I will. Give me a day to process, and I will hop right in there. It also, yesterday was my last day of school. I'm a fourth grade math teacher, so it's a lot of heavy emotions yesterday with the last day of school, say goodbye to kiddos, after school, hanging out with fellow teachers and just kind of decompressing. And then in the middle of that, getting the news that the TV show was not renewed for its fourth season just really, hit me hard. So I am in the middle processing, but okay, we're going to move on to our craft for the day. But if you feel like you want to chat about that, I am 100% willing to chat about that. And anything book series, TV show related, it's all on the table, all spoilers, whatever you want. But today we are going to do a blast from the past. I'm excited about this. It is pony bead keychains. So if you were a kid in the 80s and the 90s, you did these. Everybody did. Like, you can't say you didn't. I'm sure everybody did. Same with Pogs. I don't know if you remember Pogs, but you can't deny that either. So these pony beads, they're fun. They're easy. As a fourth grade teacher, again, I like simple kid projects, and so that's what I like to do for some of these because they are very beginner friendly. They're introduction level. So pony beads, easy peasy, simple. Let's hop over and see what we need for our materials. Okay, so I just thought of these, was just like, oh, what can I do that's Wheel of Time? And then I just kind of go like, oh, well, a bee, for Ilian. Sammael had a kind of big part in season 3 when he has tried to I don't even know what the word is, attack, a surprise attack, ran there at Cold Rock's Hold and failed miserably. So the 9 bees of Ilian, I think is pretty cute. Just a little nod to Sammael right there. I did this kind of more of a hanging. I think that would be cute hanging from like a rear view mirror in your car or just on your wall or something. Would be kind of cute. So I did it a crescent moon for Lanfear. And then this one, I tried my best to do a spider for Moghedien. I think the design will be a little bit different when I do it today. This is just, giving it my best. So there's a head, there's some 8 legs, it's spider-esque, and that's okay. One thing about crafts, and I tell this to my students all the time, that they don't need to be perfect as long as it's bringing joy to your heart, and this makes me so happy, even if it looks kind of like a not the best spider, but that's okay. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started in order from easiest to hardest as ranked by me personally. So we're going to start with the bee, the Ilian bee. 9 bees of Ilian is the sigil. And then Sammael decided to hunker down in Ilian when he was free from his seals. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to suggest, you're going to need pony beads. For the bee, you're going to need white, black, and yellow. I think 7 black, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yellow, and 10 white. Not too many for this one. So I have them all right here. Okay, another thing you're going to need, I did get a key ring to add to these. I think for the Lanfear crescent moon, I'm going to do just like a little string on top so you can hang it instead of a key ring, but 100% up to you. You can also use these types of key rings if you'd rather. Okay, I am going to be using wax cord, which you can get at any craft store. But you can also just use string and embroidery needles. That's how I made my first few ones. So if you just have some thread, obviously not this short, and some embroidery needles that are small enough to go through, you're going to wind up with the same effect. Yeah, so these have the yarn instead of the wax cord, and that's totally fine. 100%. Just use whatever you want. I've also heard that people can use shoelaces, so if you have an extra shoelace lying around, you can do that as well. So I'm going to get black. It doesn't need to be crazy long, your piece of cord or string. I'd say maybe about the length from your shoulder to your shoulder. Maybe my hand to my shoulder. Let me flip back over to the screen. Which one is it? That one. So I'm going to do about this big. And if it turns out to be too small, whoops, we'll go back and try again. That's kind of what crafting is all about. Sometimes it doesn't work. And we try again. Oops, that's the wrong screen. Sorry. There we go. All right. So I've got my wax cord. I've got my pony beads. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to just line them up in the order that I have them here. Just kind of do a quick guesstimate of what it's going to look like. This will help me put them on the wax cord a little bit easier. And then black. And then 3 yellows. Oops. When I was getting this all set up, I had to banish my dog. He does like to chew on plastic as much as possible, and he did try to get one of the pony beads. It's small enough that if he swallowed it, it wouldn't cause damage, but definitely don't want him eating plastic. There. Okay, so that's basically what it's going to look like. We're going to start at the top and then work our way down. This one I started at the bottom and worked my way to the top, and you can see I've got that kind of ugly knot there. It kind of looks like antenna. I guess it's not that bad, but I'd rather not have that. So we're going to start at the top and work our way to the end. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking my 2 sides of the wax cord, and I'm going to add my keyring. So to get this attached, we're going to put both of those edges, both points. We have one side and the other side, both of them together, through my keyring till it's about close to the end. And then I'm going to take those strings ends again, and I'm going to put them through that loop. And then if I pull it tight, we're going to have a nice little clean knot there at the top of the bee's head. Okay. Look just like this. Okay, and so the strategy with pony beads, put this upside down. Is when you're threading the beads through, they go through one side. Okay, so we would put them like this, and we would put the one side through, and then the other side comes through the opposite direction. Okay. Okay, this is what's going to keep them in place. So basically we're weaving back and forth like this. So I'm going to scooch my little rows off to the side so I have a little bit more space to work with. And then we can get started. All right. So I'm starting with the 2. That is its face or its head. Okay, again, I'm going to have both my strings. The good thing about the wax cord is it's very easy to grab them. If you're using string and an embroidery needle, again, it's not too tricky to get them through there, as long as that needle part is small enough to fit through there. Not too tricky. Okay, so notice I came in from the right side with this piece of the cord, so I'm going to go in from the left side with that piece of the cord. Okay, just like that. So I have one coming out the opposite side and that coming out the other side. And then all we need to do is just pull it. Just tighten it. There we go. Okay, there we have the start of the bee's head. Okay, moving at the next row. So the next row is going to be these 3. I'm going to keep this guy off to the corner. We can kind of see what he's supposed to look like. Okay, so we're on this row right here. Same thing. I'm going to pick up one side of my wax cord and I'm going to string it through those 3 yellow beads. Maybe. Okay, and so since this came from the right going out, I'm going to grab the next piece of thread and it's going to go from the left to the right. And just like before, we're going to just pull both the threads, both sides, I guess, of the cord, and it's going to tighten. Go just like that. Okay, beautiful start to a bee head so far. Okay, so now we're going to do the black row, and then after that, we'll go towards both the sides to get the wings. Okay, that's going to be the trickiest part of this, is just a little bit different technique on those wings. Okay, so our next row is 3 black beads. And since I'm right-handed, I typically do start with the right side of my cord, but it does not matter. Okay, got my 3 blacks going from right to left, so this one's going to go from left to right. And then we just tighten it. Beautiful. Okay, hopefully nothing too tricky so far. All right, now let's look at the wings. Excuse me. Of course, last days of school, I caught a cold, and so I've had a bit of a congestion, sore throat, no voice for the past 2 weeks. Like the parting gift that the fourth graders gave me, of course, right before summer break is a bit of a cold. So I apologize for that. So now I have the 5 beads. That's the wing. So I have the right side of my cord. I'm going to put all 5 beads on. Okay, just like we would normally do. Okay, but now instead of putting the other one through, I need to tie this one off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through one more time, each of these beads. It's kind of like a double loop. Okay, now I'm going to slide them all the way down to that black part. And then I just need to pull it tight, 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 tight. Okay, so there I'm going to have one side of the wing. Okay, we want to do the same on the other side. Okay. So I'm taking my left side now, but obviously I switched to my right hand. I'm going to put the 5 white beads on. Okay, and then the same thing, I'm going to loop it through another time. So I'm just going back that same direction. Loop it through all 5 of those white beads. I can get that last one. Okay, and I'm going to push those white beads all the way towards that black body part. There we go. Okay, so now we have the wings. Okay, that'll come out the side. Okay, now we're going to continue the next row that goes under that, which is going to be our yellow. Okay, so I got the 3 next rows for yellow. 3 next beads for yellow for that next row. Okay, so I'm going to put all 3 on from the right side. Okay, and then go in from the left side with the opposite cord. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to tighten it. There we go. Okay. Super QB so far. Okay, now we're going to continue with the next black row. 3 black beads for that. Going in from the right. And so this one's going to go in from the left. Tighten it up. Okay, next we have the start of its butt. So I'm just going to do 2 yellow. Going from the right. Now I'm going to use this to go into the left. Okay, tighten it. Okay, and then we have one more. That's the stinger. Going to the right, going to the left. Okay, and it's that simple. If you wanted to add one more black, you could, just to make it stinger a little bit more prominent. I don't know if that would look good or not. Let's try it and see. Yeah, I think that looks okay. So you can make it more prominent or not. It's really up to you. And then I'm just going to tie this off by tying a double knot. Okay, give it a little bit of a pull. Make sure it's not going to come out. And then we can just trim it. Okay, again, there's probably a better way to do this. I am not a pony bead keychain expert. If you want to ask me about crochet stuff, I will give you my expert opinion. But pony beads, I don't know. I'm sure there's a better way to do that. But it's good for my purposes, and it makes my heart very happy. I think it looks very much like a bee. I think you can use a what's this called? A lighter. And you can burn these down so that they go away. I just don't have a lighter currently with me. Maybe I'll try it later. All right, so that's our B, 2 different versions. This one's got a longer stinger. This one I use with yarn. Either way, I think it looks pretty cute. All right, the next one I want to show you is Lanfear's Crescent Moon. So this one is, like I said, I'm going to do it more of like a wall hanging. It looks a little out of focus. So I'm going to have it have like a hanger that looks like this instead of a key ring. I think that would look cute on a wall, or you're just hanging from your car rearview mirror. So for this one, again, colors are up to you. I grabbed blue for the background, and then instead of white, I have this little shiny iridescent white. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this is a different color. I don't know if you, yeah, you totally can't tell. Yeah, it looks the exact same, so it doesn't matter. So I have white and I have blue if you want to do black. And white, you want to do black and yellow. You want to do blue and yellow, whatever floats your boat. So just like before, I'm going to set it up. So I have the beads in order. These are 9 across. So my first row is going to start with 9 blue beads. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That is 9. Okay, the next row, I'm going to have 2 blue beads, 5 white beads, and then 2 more blue beads. There you go. So I think I counted it. It was 29 white beads needed and 52 blue beads needed. Okay, and then I'm going to have 1 blue, 1 white, 2 blue, 4 white, and 1 blue. And a lot of the other crafts I've done have been kind of pixelated as well, just like this. So if you want to do any of those other designs with pony beads, you could. You could do that, the flame or the fang we did. You can do even those cross stitch Aes Sedai or Matt or Perrin or Rand or Lan or whatever you want with these. I don't know. I guess that's kind of the appeal of pixel designs, is they are very versatile. Lots of different mediums you can use to make pixel designs. Okay, next row, I've got 5 blue, 3 white, and then 1 blue. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. This row is repeated 3 times total. Oops. 5 blue, 3 white, 1 blue, 1 more time, 5 blues, 3 whites, 1 blue. If you wanted to make it bigger, I suppose you could repeat that a little bit higher if you wanted. All right, so I'm moving on to 1, 2, 3, this one right here. So now I have 1 blue, 1 white. The math teacher in me likes the symmetry of this one. 2 blues, 4 whites, 2 blues. Let's go a little bit out of line. 2 blues, 5 whites, 2 blues, and then 9 blues on top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And I seem to be missing a bead. I have a blue left. There. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to use blue, this kind of like shiny blue wax cord. You can use black, you can use white, you know, whatever. It's really, again, whatever makes your heart happy is what you should do. So at my school, it's really amazing. We end our school year with what we call project week. And so the last week of school is nothing but, you know, projects. They are academic in a way, but also just fun little projects. So it's not like we're just watching movies or something like that. It's a purpose. So mine this past year was called Crafting 101. And so I did a bunch of like entry level craft ideas. So we did beginning macrame, we did beginning cross stitch, we did beginning weaving, just a whole bunch of different things like that. So it was a lot of fun. And so one of the things I did tell the kids was just, I think this might be too short. I'm going to cut one that's a little bit bigger for this one. But one of the things I did tell the kids is that that's what art is. This art is like, it's so subjective. It's nobody's opinion matters. It's just what makes your heart happy. And then we were doing one of the projects and one of my kiddos said, "This does not make my heart happy." And I was like, okay, if you don't want to be doing this, you do not have to. I'm not going to force you to, you know, do something that does not make your heart happy. If you want to try a different craft that we've already covered, go right ahead. You want to draw pictures, you go right ahead. Like, you know, anything, like that's the whole point of art, is it's supposed to fill your bucket. It's supposed to be creativity, and it's supposed to be just, I don't know, a good time, not a bad time. So that's why I like crafts so much. I think it's just, you know, self-expression. It's like, it makes me feel like I'm doing something, it makes me feel very happy. So anyway, we are going to get started with this one. I have my blue cord. I cut it a little bit longer. I did about a yard. So my stretched arms on either side works. So I'm going to slightly scooch this over so it's not completely in my way. Let's see if I can. No, it's not going to work. Oh, yeah, that didn't work at all. That's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. So I'm going to start with the 9 for the bottom. Now I got to set them up all over again. That was not the best move. It's okay. And another thing about arts and crafts that I love is that try again mentality. Like, you're not going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. You don't have to get it right the first time. So I'm going to put all 9 beads on. I'm going to be very careful since this is the beginning. If I let those beads go, they're going to fall off the other end. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I've got it, you know, a hold on it so that they're not all going to go flying. Okay, with the B, we put that keychain on, so we had it was fastened right from the start. This one is not fastened yet. So we're kind of starting with the bottom and going to work our way up so we can have a different kind of hanging on it. Okay, so I got my 9 beads. Okay, now I'm going to just move it to the middle. So I'm going to grab both edges of my wax cord. Okay, and I'm going to move it till it's in the middle. Okay, so this is about where I want it to be. Okay, now I'm moving on to the next round. 2 blues, 5 whites, 2 blues. So I'm going to grab my 2 blues. Okay, again, I am right-handed, so I'm working with the right side. So I put on my 2 blues. I'm going to grab 5 whites. Okay, I'll move it a little bit over more, but for this row, I just don't want to move my beads from the center. So I'm going to just do it a little bit wonky this time. And then I'll show you a little bit more detailed. There we go. It's 4 whites, And here's 5 whites. And then I need 2 more blues. And then 2, okay. All right, so there we go. Oh, I guess I grabbed the wrong side. That's okay. So this time, I guess I'm going from the left to the right. Doesn't matter. Okay, just how it still is going to be lined up. So I'm going to grab the other edge of the cord, and I'm going to slide it down, all 9 of these beads. Okay, hold on. I guess I do need 2 hands for this one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. Yeah, that didn't go very well. I wonder if I would have used tape or something to stabilize it a little bit more. Okay, either way, as long as I have 9, I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm good. Okay. So I'm going to pull these. Nope, wrong direction. There we go. Okay. Okay, here I'm going to be just a little bit careful. I don't want to pull it too tight because I want those to line up with each other. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay, this part was definitely easier with the yarn, but that's okay. I'm going to try again and tighten it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, it'll add a little bit more weight once we keep going up, and it won't look so squishy squashy. Looks kind of like a mouse now. That's okay. All right, next row we have 1 blue, 1 white, 2 blues, 4 whites, 1 blue. Okay, so I'm going to start with my right hand side, and I'm just going to put the beads on. When we decided to do macrame for my project week, one of the kiddos was so excited to try. And they were just like looking forward to it because I think we did that in the 2nd or 3rd day. Looking forward to it. And then once we did it, it wound up being just a little bit more difficult than she anticipated. And she kind of had like a little bit of a breakdown and she started crying. And so, I just took her kind of to the doorway because honestly, you can't leave kids unattended. So I was kind of like in the doorway, a little bit away from the other kids, but, still supervising the other kids. You got to be careful as a teacher. You can't leave kids unsupervised or else they do stupider things than usual. So I had this poor kiddo, and I was like, "What's the matter?" And she's like, "I just wanted to do this so bad, and now it's really hard." And and a lot of times, kids they're so cute. They're so insecure though, and she just needed some reassurance. And I was like, "You know what? It's okay. We've never done this before. This is brand new. It's okay if it's tricky. But we can try again. We'll just take off all the string you have and we'll get new string. It's not wasting if you learn something. And you did learn something. And so, she calmed down and then she did it and then she absolutely loved it. And so a lot of times the kiddos, they just need that reassurance that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to not get it right the first time. It's okay to fail. It's definitely a hard lesson. And I know parents a lot of times don't want their kids to feel that way. They don't want to have their kiddos feel like a failure, realize that, oh, I did something wrong or I messed up or it's hard. And unfortunately, that's a disservice because the kids need to be able to understand that emotion and process it and deal with it. And it makes them much better students, much stronger students if they're able to have a challenge and overcome it. I'm not saying don't support them, because definitely my kiddo, she needed just that pep talk. All she needed was that pep talk. All she needed was somebody to say, it's okay, we're going to try again. And it's okay that this didn't turn out right the first time. And she was fine. And I think as adults, we need to remember that too. So, you know what? If your art project doesn't turn out right the first time, it's okay. It's totally all right for it not to be perfect. I think that stops us from doing a lot of things, especially as adults, because we're like, oh, we're adults, we should be perfect. We should know how to do this. And it's okay if we don't. All right, I will stop doing my teacher 101. In case you ever wondered what it's like to be a teacher, it's 99% helping kids calm down when they've cried. No, that's not true. All right, so we're continuing this row. We are going to do this 3 times, where it's 5, 3, 1. You know, I think another reason why I enjoy art so much is because it is very mathematic. A lot of people are like, I never use math. And it's like, yes, you do. You use math every single day. Math is logic. Math is problem solving. Math is patterns. Math is measuring. Math is even counting. So it's really funny how many crafts, especially, excuse me, relate to math in some way. And that's, you know, why I do like doing the crafting projects when we do project week. It's always fun to, you know, be a math teacher and be like, yeah, this is math, this is patterns, this is logic, it's problem solving. Okay, got that one, pull it tight. Okay, so for this one I used yarn. It does look a little bit more clean than the wax cord right now, but we're gonna keep going and see. We can compare and contrast in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna do that row another time. So I have, excuse me, I should be taking a week off from talking. And so maybe I'll start that on Monday. 5 blue, 3 white, 1 more blue. All the kids are like, what are you going to do over break? And I was like, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm crocheting. So that's my plan for the next, I don't know, I think I only have about 6 weeks off before we need to go in for on-site training at the end of July. Our actually next school year starts July 31st is our first day of school, which seems like it's so close. Like it's almost June, and then July is here, and then it's time for school to start again, and that's a little depressing, but that's okay. I absolutely love my job, even with its ups and downs. I mean, even with its downs. Obviously, it's got a lot of ups, but even with its downs. It's definitely not for everybody, though. I don't think any person could just go into a classroom and be a successful teacher. I think it takes the right kind of perspective. Patience, definitely. I've been told several times that my superhero or my teacher superpower is my patience. And that's just because, honestly, I worked as a dog bather in my 20s for 6 years, and I learned how to handle dogs that wanted to bite me. It's like, well, dealing with a 9-year-old is not that much trickier. Actually, it's a lot easier than dealing with a dog that wants to bite me. So a lot of my patience just comes from that. Okay, next row, we got 1 blue, 1 white, 2 blues, 4 whites, 1 blue. And it is funny with teachers. A lot of my friends are teachers because we're like-minded people. A lot of teachers very much fit into a category. I'm sure it's one of those personality tests. I bet you if you get a specific one, you're destined to be a teacher. We're all very similar characteristics. There's every now and then you get one that's an oddball out, but most of the time, very, very similar. Okay, and then the next row is going to be 2 blues, 5 whites, and 2 blues. Okay, look how calming this is. This is a nice soothing craft. So definitely if you've got the materials and you're just enjoying the weekend and want to unwind after a tough work week, like oh, just counting and it's just moving your fingers, and it's definitely soothing. Art, I think builds serotonin or endorphins or dopamine or one of those, I think, happiness hormones. And you can see my threads are not anywhere close to the same length, so all my careful planning at the start of this didn't achieve much because it's still all wonky. That's okay. We're going to cut it at the end. So it won't matter. Oh, sorry. The oranges are getting in my way. Go away, oranges. All right. A little bit tighter. Okay, last row. We got 9 blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I count that right? No, I did have one extra. So I guess I did count incorrectly the first time. That's all right. Okay, 9 blues for our very last row. And I haven't quite worked out how we're going to tie this off, so this is going to be an adventure. Oops, okay, there we go. I can tie it tight. All right, so for this one, I think I just wanted to tie it up at the tippy top, but I would also like it to be a little bit more secure. So I might try putting this down one more just to, if I can make it fit. So I'm just threading that through the one row lower. I can get it to go through. There we go. Okay, just to tie that off a little more, make it a little bit tighter. Okay. Yeah, and I think for this one, we can do that same thing, but go through this side. And then that'll give us a little bit of a hanging thread. Maybe. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Beautiful. Right. So now I would just measure about how high I want that to, excuse me, how high I want that to go. Maybe that there. Perfect. And then I'm just going to tie these off over here on this side. And again, I'm going to try to find a lighter because I think that's the best way to, oops, I tied it too tight. Nope. Hmm. I want to rip it. Okay, there. That did it. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this. Find a lighter somewhere else. Okay, that's kind of cute. We made it a little bit bigger. I think it would be a nice little coaster. Not very absorbent, but kind of cute. You can't barely see, but yeah, this one's a little bit darker. It's a little bit more iridescent, the color. It's like a little bit of off-white instead of white. Okay. I'm sorry, give me 2 seconds to blow my nose. Whew, I apologize. I should have had a tissue ready. All right, so we've got our beads, we've got our Lanfear. Let's move on to Moghedien. Moghedien the spider. So I used almost all of my black beads doing this one. So I don't have any more black beads enough to make another black spider. So we're going to do orange for Moghedien. We're going to do an orange spider this time, and that's okay. You could do a purple spider. You could do a pink spider. You could do a multicolor rainbow spider. 100% up to you. All right, so I've got my beads ready for my spider. All right, so just like with our bee, we're going to start at the top. Okay, this one I use string, and I just did a string loop. Excuse me, and that works fine. But for this one, I want to do this loop. So I'm going to use orange wax cord to match my orange beads. Okay, we're not going to need as much as Lanfear, but we're going to need a little bit more than Sammael. So let's do about shoulder to arm. Looks good. All right, and so just like we did with the bee, we're going to put our two ends together, and we're going to thread it through the key ring. Okay, pull them through. Oops. Okay, and then once you get towards the end, you're just going to loop those through. Okay, and that's going to put it in kind of like a little loop right there. All right, so since we're starting at the top, we're going to start with her head. Okay, so I did 3. If you pull on this, it kind of looks more round, which I guess works. If you wanted to do just 2 and then 2 to make the head, really, honestly, it's whatever floats your boat. So for this one, I thought about giving her eyes. I was like, oh, well, if we do the 2 on the end eyes, it might look like eyes. But then I remembered that spiders have 8 eyes, and I don't know how to do 8 eyes in something this small. So if we did something a little bit bigger, we could definitely do 8 eyes, but we're not. We're going to just stick with that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 3 orange beads. Put it on my thread. Okay, grab the other end. Whoops. I'll slide down and put it through the opposite way. And just pull it tight. Get it centered. There we go. Perfect. Okay, next row, we just have 2. And then we just pull it. Beautiful. Right, let's see. So for the next one, I think we're going to do this part and then we'll do the legs. I think if the legs shifted down, it would look a little bit better. So we're going to try that. Okay, so I'm going to put on 3 for the thorax, I think is the next part. Or is that the abdomen? I don't remember my spider anatomy. Right, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the feet. And the feet are going to be similar to how we did the wings of the bee. But since we don't want them to curve, right? Remember how the bee, here we go, they curved, right? We don't want that. We want them to be straight. So we're going to put 3 on, but then we're going to weave it back through only 2. So it kind of looks like it's got that little bit of a paw. So I don't know if you've ever seen a close-up pictures of little spider feet, but they have like little cat paws. It's like 3 little claws. So that's what that's going to be. So we're going to make these 2 a little bit shorter, and then these 2 are a little bit longer. Okay, again, if you want to make it even longer than that, you knock yourself out. So I'm going to start with this one right here. So I'm putting 3 beads on. Okay, and then I'm going to skip the first and thread back through 2. So I'm going to slide those down as close as I can get, and then pull this tight. Okay, we got a little spider paw. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to grab 3 orange beads. And I'm going to thread it back through, excuse me, thread it back through 2 of them. Okay, so I'm going to slide those down towards the body. And then we have another spider paw. There we go. Beautiful. Right. So now we're going to do the abdomen or thorax in between that. So I just need 3 beads. Okay, and then just like normal, we're going to weave the other side through. Pull it tight. Got a little bit twisted. It's okay. It won't matter once we pull it tight. There we go. Right. Perfect. So we've got 2 of the 8 legs ready to go. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to do 3 beads on one side. And I'm going to thread it back through only 2 of them. The third one's going to be that spider paw. Okay, it's a little bit further away than I wanted, so I'm going to try to pull it more. There we go. Okay, and then the other side, same thing. Add 3 beads. And then slide it through the next 2. Okay, looking pretty good so far, right? The next part is that body. So we're going to do 3 beads through both threads. And pull it tight. Oh my gosh, I think it looks super cute. Okay. I'm very easily impressed with myself. All right, so now we're moving on to the longer legs. So for these, I'm doing 4, and it looks like the last ones I did 5, which is fine. Okay, so adding 4 beads to this one. Okay, and I'm just going to thread it through the 3. Maybe the one on the end to be the spider paw. Beautiful. Now the other side, we're having 4 beads. And I'm going to slide it through 3. It's looking pretty good. Okay, next part of the body. I don't know if we should make it wider. I don't remember what a spider looks like. That's okay. We're just going to stick with what's here. Right, next part of the body is just 3 threaded through both sides of the cord. Pull it tight. Okay, now we're going to do the last legs. Looks like I did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to thread through 4 of them. Okay, the other one will be the spider paw. Oops, pull it too much. There we go. Okay, last foot. I'm going to do 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thread it through 4. Pull it tight. All right, now we're just going to do the last part of the butt. I think if we wanted to make it a rounder butt, I don't remember. I don't think I looked too closely at spiders because, like Eve, I have a fear of spiders. They're pretty gross. It's the 8 eyes, I think, and 8 legs. I think that looks pretty much like a spider. I think if you wanted to do what if we tie it in a intricate way so we can make it look like it's a web? That would have been more fun if we did it at the beginning, hanging down. It's okay. All right, I'm going to tie that off. Give it a little bit of a stretch. And go find a lighter so I can see. I don't know. Yeah. It's all worth it if it makes you happy. And it totally makes me happy. I love it. It's super cute. Excuse me. All right. So here we go. 2 different versions. This one's got less of a butt than this one. And I'm fine with that. If you like the butt, you can add the butt. And then we had 2 different versions of the bee. one with more of a pronounced stinger than the other, and then 2 different versions of Lanfear's moon. Not too shabby. Oh, I tried to do a dragon. It didn't work out very well. But maybe some other time when I have more time to play with the pony beads, we can do some light inspired instead of Forsaken inspired pony bead designs. So that's it for me today. I only had these 3 designs, and nothing. I was thinking of what I could do to do Raven, but other than like a crown or something, like nothing really came to mind. So we're just gonna leave it there. I got 3 different ones, and I'll continue to brainstorm, see if we can do some other pony bead designs. If you've got any ideas you'd like, definitely message me in the comments, or you can reach out to me via social media, Dragonmount, and all. Sorry, let's go back over to this screen. That one, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So you can, message Dragonmount. I am there. You can hit me up on social media under Cafe de Crochet, which is my crafting account. I'll be there as well. I was toying with the idea of the next craft being in Amerlin's stole, which we can do different colors and in different stitches. So I'm definitely digging that idea. So that might be the next one. But I also really want to do embroidery on a shirt or something. So get like a dress shirt or something like that and embroider a dragon on the sleeve. But I don't know how to do embroidery. So that's something I'm going to look into, try to figure out, because again, I will say all day long, that's what crafting's all about, is just do something that makes you happy. I want an embroidered shirt. I'm going to learn how to do it, and I'm going to do my best. So that's my motto. That's my message I'm going to be sending out to you guys. Again, it is heavy-hearted today. We are still kind of in shock, still wondering what exactly is going to happen. And I just want to give you courage to strengthen, iron to bind. I don't remember the rest. But there are things we can do if you are a little bit saddened by the news that they did not renew season 4 of the show. They let that news out yesterday. We can still try. We can still fight. We can still let our voices be heard. And I'm definitely all about that. So please go to dragonmount.com. We also have a Patreon where we have some fun things, including some of my little craft things will be given out to Patreon supporters, or Tom might give them out during the Dragonmount live streams that he does. Just a couple of different goodies we have. And then also you get to support our community of creators. We love to bring you this content. We love to incorporate Wheel of Time in everything we do. Arts and crafts are my half of my heart, but then Wheel of Time's the other half. And so being able to combine them together and do this just really makes me super happy. So I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and definitely let me know if you have any ideas for future crafts, and I will see you later. Thank you for joining me.